Now we're rolling. Say hi, AJ. Hi, AJ. Alright, so we're going to be switching out the shifting springs with the Mtec shift springs. We have two bolts to remove. We're going to have this guy right here. It's going to be I believe it's a 10 millimeter hex. On this side, we're going to have the 27 millimeter. I'll hold the transmission down. These are going to have some Loctite on them, so I do recommend you use a breaker bar before you use anything else. So to remove the spring, you could use a magnet. I'm just going to go ahead and use the end of a multimeter, get the first spring out. What you're going to do is go ahead and match it with the Mtec spring and then go ahead and replace it. You're going to want to clean the Loctite on here as well before you reinstall it, just to be a little bit smoother. So I'm going to install some blue thread locker on here as well. Go ahead and thread it on. Make sure you don't cross thread it. You're going to want to torque it down to I believe it's 18 foot-pounds. My torque wrench starts at 20, so I'm just going to go ahead and use a regular ratchet. So for this side, you're going to want to remove this guy right here. It is going to be a 27 millimeter. Go ahead and use a breaker bar as well. This one's on a little bit tighter than the other one. The other one's held on by 18 pounds of torque. This one's going to be 29. No. What's it from? No. So pretty much this is what's going to come out of there. Make sure you keep it in this order. So basically when it comes out like that, you're going to go ahead and separate them. And the spring's right in the middle. So go ahead and swap that out with the correct spring. So go ahead and reinstall the new spring. Clean off any Loctite that you do see. There's some on the inside. Let's go ahead and clean it off. Same thing as with the last one. Make sure you don't cross thread any of it. For this one, you're going to want to torque it down to 29 foot-pounds. So, I have a new pilot bearing. I'm going to go ahead and press it on. I'm going to use a hammer. For right now, I have a 27 millimeter socket. Put it on as straight as possible. Put your socket over it. Make sure it's flush. Go ahead and hammer lightly and evenly. I like to go in a circle. Once it's almost flush, go ahead and hammer straight on. Go ahead and flip it over, use the flat side for this last part. There you go, nice and flush. So for this next part, we have 8 bolts. Whenever you're tightening those bolts on this side right here, they are going to require a lot of force. So you're going to want someone to hold your engine down. Do is go ahead and hold this crank pulley right here. We're just going to use a adjusting crescent wrench and then just a normal pipe in order to hold the engine down while I go ahead and torque these guys. So go ahead and mount your flywheel up. For right now, don't worry about patching it up with any of the holes. Alright, now once it's in, line the holes. You're going to have 8 14mm bolts. Go ahead and put those in. You're going to go ahead and torque them down to 63 foot-pounds. And make sure you're using a crisscross pattern when tightening them up and when installing them. For this part, I'm just going to go ahead and use a drill to make them snug. After you got them down, go ahead and torque them all down to 63 foot-pounds. Ready? Is it too strong?
Yeah.
Want to turn it back?
Well, it barely moved. You tightened it, right?
That's only, I haven't even finished tightening them. Tell me when you're ready. You want to do it from down here or no?
Right?
Ready?
Yeah.
There goes one. Ready?
Yep.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Give me a sec.
Spin it if you have to.
I haven't moved. It's just
It hurts.
the thing was hitting your flywheel, so it's like scuffing it up.
What flywheel?
Or I'm sorry,
The crank?
yeah.
That's fine.
Alright, go for it.
Alright, now we're going to go ahead and double check every bolt. leave that part out.
It's just funny reading it.
You don't see any grease anywhere?
Where's your tub of grease? Oh, that's lube.
That's what I'm trying to look for. Tub of grease. So currently looking for some of my lithium grease so we can go ahead and yeah. So we can go ahead and put the what do you call them? The clutch fork. We're gonna put that back in, and then the throwout bearing as well. Oh, let's see. Got a bunch of oils and sprays, but no lithium. There we go. It's my old stock header, by the way. Right now I'm running the, they call it the OFT, unequal length header, in case you guys are wondering. Okay. Found it. Yeah. Hey, just tearing apart the whole car, trying to look for it. An SD card, really?
Yeah.
Like the small one?
Yeah. Oh, I think it was just the adapter. Oh no,
Oh.
the big one.
Yeah, it's just the adapter. Yeah. Okay. I'm missing the one for my drone, that's why. So I've been switching back and forth from the GoPro one. So this is the grease I'm going to use. Alright, so start off with some brake cleaner first. I'm gonna spray this part right here. This is the part where the clutch fork is gonna pivot on. Get a towel. Rag. Go ahead and use a rag. Alright, so this is the clutch fork. It's also dirty, so I'm going to go ahead and clean it off. We have the spring in here. There's two that ride on the side. I took those off already, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to replace those. I have some OEM springs as well that we're going to be reinstalling, as well as the pivot spring that's actually going to clip the clutch fork in place. These all need, or this one actually needs to be greased up when it's in here, and you can see inside it looks pretty rusty. We're also going to clean that off and grease it up just so that the pivot point is well lubricated. Go ahead and remove the spring, just snap them together and go ahead and remove it. I got that.
Right?
Yeah. So you guys didn't see that, but I went ahead and sprayed myself in the face. Make sure you guys are wearing eye protection. So I went ahead and cleaned this part as well. Whenever you depress the clutch pedal, the slave actually contacts this point right here. I'm going to go ahead and grease it up just a little bit. It doesn't require a lot of grease. The one I would recommend is this one because this one is a bigger pivot point, and I've heard a lot of people have squeaks on the BRZ or FRSs that come from this area whenever they depress a clutch. The actual throttle bearing. If you guys want to see what the old one looked like, this one pretty much got melted away. The inner core just melted. It doesn't. The outer race doesn't spin freely. Spin. That's a funny word. For this one, you can tell it's in a lot better shape. Comes with some grease in the middle already. It also spins freely. I'm gonna go ahead and clean these arms right here really quick. Just notice they're pretty dirty. So for reinstalling the spring, we're gonna go ahead and put it on. I got 2 new springs for this part. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this one. Bring it over like that. What I want to do is slide the first one in. There you go. Flip it over. First one's in. Now for the second one, I believe it's going to be upside down compared to that one. So what you're going to want to do is pull it in the hole, opposite of the way this one's facing. Now this part, you want to go ahead and lift up and over. So go ahead and grease this pivot point right here. You don't want to put too much, you don't want to put too little. The new throttle bearing came with some grease in the inner race right here. I'm just going to go ahead and add some of my own grease. Just a very thin film along the entire way. Go ahead and just put it in. Line up this portion. And then once it's lined up, make sure you have the pivot point lined up. Go ahead and push it forward. There you go. Snapped into place. So these are the OFT headers I was talking to you guys about. So what you're going to want to do is grab a rag, some brake cleaner. Go ahead and spray the rag down with some brake cleaner.
Watch your eyes.
In a clean area. Watch your eyes though. Go ahead and wipe down the mating surface of the flywheel. See, some dirt came off already. What you want to do is just eliminate any grease that could potentially be on the flywheel. When you get a new flywheel, it will come with grease on it just to kind of protect it once it's in shipping. The mating surface is going to be this inner ring, so go ahead and wipe it down. Still dirty. Now we can go ahead and grab our clutch disc and alignment tool. Go ahead and align the splines. Whoa. Go ahead and align the splines. And you want to align it to the pilot bearing in here with this tip.
Oh yeah. Okay,
for the install. Also, when tightening them down, the engine is going to want to spin. Same thing with the flywheel. When you're tightening the flywheel bolts, the engine wants to spin. So you're going to need someone, means AJ, to hold down the crankshaft pulley while you're tightening down these bolts. They're not as strong as the flywheel bolts, so it won't be... This guy's over here getting ready already. Look at that. How many was that, AJ? Like 2? 6 whole push-ups. So we'll go ahead and tighten them down. See if we can do it without the extension. Alrighty. Again, I'm not torquing them down. I'll finish it off with a ratchet. So once you've gone over it once, now you're gonna have some pressure that's been relieved from the other bolts. Once you've gone over it once, I'm gonna go over it again with this, finish it off with a ratchet. Ready?
Set go.
Go! If you guys didn't get that reference, what is it, AJ?
You know, little DK.
Donkey Kong?
Donkey Kong.
Go ahead and... So now that we already have it pretty much in place, I'm going to go ahead and remove this tool. I wish I had some. So go ahead and continue to do it in a crisscross pattern. Alright, so it's currently 12:16. What did you have to go?
Yesterday.
12:30. We'll go ahead and possibly finish it up.
Well, that day I won't be drinking any beer, for sure.
Why not?
Can't operate machinery. I mean, breakfast of champions, right?
So yeah, more to come.